morning, everyone. We're very happy today that we have got one of our past IPHatch UK winners, Amin Rigi, with us. He is the CEO and co-founder of IPHatch Electronics. So, Amin, if you don't mind to introduce yourself and your startup a little bit.
Hi, I'm Amin, co-founder of IPHatch Electronics, and we're working on vision care products, and more specifically on amblyopia or lazy eye, which is a condition that affects more than 100 million people worldwide. And we're developing a range of products from software, hardware, and board games.
Okay, great. Thanks, Amin, for the introduction. So, today I thought, we will explain or pick your brains a little bit about your experience with IPHatch, or we will talk about any sort of winning tips you might have for our applicants, who look to enter the competition this year. So, first of all, out of all the different competitions on the market, how do you come to know about IPHatch? What sparked your interest to join it?
Yeah, I think it was on F6S. We found the competition. It looked interesting because I saw some big names, Panasonic, Nokia, and I thought, oh wow, could be an interesting program. Looked into it in more detail. And at the beginning, I had a discussion with one of my colleagues, and we weren't sure whether or not to apply because the patents that were available didn't relate directly to what we were doing. But we thought there was a category X that we could apply for, and then we said we'd give it a try. So we did apply for that.
Great. So what kind of patents do you win at the end, and how has it helped shape or scale your company or business, or in the future or already done?
Yeah, I think it's interesting because I didn't think that there would be a patent that related to our work from Panasonic, because their background is a bit different from what we know about, but it looks like they do a wide range of research. And we found a patent that was very specific to what we're doing and could be directly integrated to our VR headset. So we won a patent that was for convergence correction using glasses and VR headsets, which is very important for diagnosis and treatment process of amblyopia and other eye disorders.
Great. So, say if you didn't win the competition, how else would you have developed your company's technology? What would be the different procedures or steps you would have taken?
Yeah, I think going through the process of applying for a patent and kind of the whole process is very time consuming. It's very expensive. And I've had that experience, and it just takes a couple of years and lots of investment. And at the end, you're not sure whether or not the patent's going to get granted, because it's also a competitive process. It gets compared with other patents that are already registered. So we thought that this program would be an excellent chance to kind of receive a patent without going through that whole procedure. And we also are aiming to apply for our own patents, but again, it's kind of a long process, and we have to kind of weigh out how much time and money are we going to invest in different patents.
That's great.
And for early stage startup, sorry to interrupt, for early stage startup is kind of really important because you have limited resources, and you need to kind of figure out how you want to invest these resources. So if a patent's going to cost 100,000 throughout the 3-4 years just to register or grant the patent, and it depends on how many countries you also want to register patent in. For a startup, that's a lot of investment, which could go into kind of product development and so on. But on the other hand, if you don't have a patent, what happens is that you might develop a product for several years, and then a competitor that's already patented it comes along and says, sorry, you can't work on this because we've already have the patent. So it's very, very tricky. And I know a startup personally that did the same thing. So they developed a product for 2 years, they raised investment, and then they were in the patent process, but they found out that they can't register the patent because the company has already registered the patent. So they had to close the company.
Oh, that's a shame. But I guess, on that case, either, you file early, or you might end up having to pay a certain licensing fee to the other company, which would be very costly for earlier stage startups. So I think you have told us quite a lot about how important a role IP could play in your business and in the entrepreneurship. So I think the next few questions would be of most interest to our audience. So from your experience, what are the top 2 benefits for winning the IPHatch competition, or any winning tips that you could give?
Yeah, I think for IPHatch, the main thing is that kind of the patent profile you're applying for should be in line with the product you're developing. So that's the main thing. And as long as there's a fit or very strong fit, and the companies can see, because these are big companies, Panasonic, Nokia, and other companies are in the IPHatch program. First, they want to see an alignment with your company's products. The second thing is that they want to see high potential for growth, right? So they don't want to invest in a company that's not going to make any return on investment. And also the focus is on sustainability and health. So one of the reasons for the IPHatch program is to kind of look at the patents that these companies have registered in for sustainability and for healthcare. And rather than just keeping them in the company and not using them, allow other companies to develop them and benefit society as a whole.
That's great. That's great. So yeah, last question. Yeah, it doesn't have to be related to IPHatch, but what are or were the challenges and obstacles that you have faced so far on your innovation and entrepreneurship journey?
Yeah, I think at each stage there's different challenges. So I would say that each stage has its own challenges, and kind of they range from technical challenges very early on to kind of getting the product to work and kind of have the function you're aiming to have. And then you have financial challenges moving forward to kind of get the investment and funding you require. And then the next challenge is kind of finding the right people to expand the team. Because if you want to grow and scale, you need a bigger team and you need the right people for that. So I think at each stage there's different challenges.
Yeah, good. So yeah, thank you so much, Amin, today. Yeah, for sharing your thoughts with us, and yeah, we look forward to welcoming you back to any other sessions soon.
Thank you very much. Nice talking to you.
Yeah, thanks. Welcome, Sylvia. Can you briefly introduce yourself and also your startup? Tell me a bit more.
Okay, so my name is Silviu Jegbusu. I'm experienced in developing large applications in the trading domain mostly. I have experience mostly with banking. I worked with the SocGen Investment Bank before. I worked for 2 years in Singapore in prime clearing with GS. And then I worked with HSBC for a while in RISW assets. Having this knowledge on each side of the trade and technology, I thought about starting to develop an enterprise application for the traders and farmers in Romania. The domain is the trading of grains and also of solar energy. Arriving at my startup is called RGCX, the Regulated Grain Commodities Exchange. RGCX is a B2B enterprise platform, which is providing digital trading services for grains and solar energy to farmers, large traders, and grain storage operators. This is the enterprise app where we are planning to implement the IP, which we managed to win through IPHatch. It's an IP provided by Panasonic. I hope I summarized short enough. Yeah.
Yes, you did, and yeah, I think it's very meaningful what you're doing to yeah, sort of get like all the farmers together and yeah, try to sort of demystify yeah the whole like cross trading game. And so yeah, can you tell us a bit more about the kind of patterns that you won at the end, and how have they helped shape or scale your company business, or how do you envisage them to do so in the future?
Okay, so pointing and choosing the IP which was available in the list was very easy. Yeah, in the last 2 years, I worked for a module, let's say, which is called Supply and Demand Matching Engine, which is matching the supply and demand in both domains, like I explained, in crop, grain, commodities, and in energy. And then in the list, yeah, matching supply and demand matching engine, we had in the list the supply and demand control device, yeah, so which were 100% match, let's say. This IP will help us to implement the hardware and the software side of the energy trading. The description of the IP is quite long to explain, but shortly, it will help us when we have a large supply in energy. It will help us to match it on the demand side and adjust prices through our trading engine. So they will work in tandem to give like a seamless experience to the traders, and mostly to the automatic trading components. Yeah. So this is regarding we didn't have, let's say, we didn't have a choice. It was like a very lucky shot. Yeah, when I saw this, I immediately applied for the program. I was I was looking initially on the F6S platform, and then I've seen the IPHatch with the offer, and then I went a bit more into details. And for me, it was an easy choice, but it was also a lucky shot.
Great. Yeah, we are very happy to have you on board. And so say if you didn't know of the IPHatch program, and if you didn't win the IPHatch program, how else would you have developed your company's technologies? What are the other avenues that you were thinking?
Well, let's say half of the ecosystem and enterprise would have looked similar. But having the protection which the IP is giving us gave us confidence. Also, let's say engaging with large trading companies. The IP is giving us confidence that let's put it in another way. If IPHatch and Panasonic trusted us that we will reach a certain development stage, then other stakeholders are inclined to do so. And this works. I can confirm now that after almost 1 year, I can confirm that it works. We can bring important stakeholders at the table, and we can talk in confidence. I will give one more example of, let's say, a future. This week, we are preparing term sheets with large trading companies, but it's on the grain side. We are talking about the solar in 2 years because, like I explained to IPHatch, there is no regulation yet in Europe where the farmer can sell the energy. But it's upcoming, it's about to be done. When this is ready, we are ready with the large green energy company. I can give the example, it's EDP Portugal. They have around 70 to 90 gigawatt in our region. So we are spotting the gold already, and we are prepared. This is like the advice we can give to other companies applying. We don't need to think that we need to spend another 2 years to apply for the patent, do this and that, and maybe we honestly, maybe we don't really know how to do it. So we receive like a golden nugget out of the box, which I don't tell the cash value in it, but we feel it's there.
Great. So am I right in summarizing the top 2 benefits would be the endorsements from the MNCs and also from IPHatch, and also the technological readiness of the patents that you can just immediately plug in to your current business strategy. Great. So so I guess the next question would be of most interest to all of the startups or entrepreneurs out there. So what are the challenges and obstacles that you have faced so far on your innovation or entrepreneurship journey, and how do you come about to solve them?
Is it like related to IP or in general?
Overall, in general.
In general, you know it. In all the geographies, we have the same problem of acquiring and retaining talent. We have a module which is integrated directly with the IP, which is commodities price estimation. When we try to acquire AI developers, it's almost impossible. Many people think that using AI in your compute means that you are using the GPT API. Well, it's not. We really need to develop a bit more our AI part, and that one is hard. Mostly RGCX in general, we are spaced between 2 geographies. One is UK for various reasons, and the other one is the implementation geography, which is Romania. And all the time when we need to implement something more shiny, we need to go back to UK all the time. Talent is there, is expensive, but doable. Now that IPHatch is based in Singapore, I can say that it's hard to acquire and retain talent here in the Eastern European geography, but we are looking back to Singapore, and again we find talent there. Again, expensive but fast and good. When we go MNC level and we say that we have IP, we have this type of investment, it's good, it's understandable. But when we go like in the middle level, they think it's a piece of paper, and it's hard to explain what is it. And again, we need to go back regarding investment. This is my planning now. We will start probably an investment round probably in April, around there. We progressed a lot since we talked with IPHatch representatives. We progressed a lot on the tech side, on the infrastructure side, and it will be this step. And in order to overcome the challenge in Eastern European geography, we will come back UK and probably Singapore.
Good. Yeah, it will be very exciting to see you start and expand into Singapore, where our headquarters is. So, yeah, last questions from us. Any advice or winning tips for those who are keen to enter the IPHatch challenge?
Very important. Read briefly what the IPs, what they offer, what they are, and see if they match you. Yeah, don't try to create a solution to a problem which does not exist just to use the patent available. From what I know, but I think it's already written a few times here in the IPHatch presentation. If you don't find yourself in the IPHatch IP list, talk with IPHatch, talk with the staff, and bring the IP there. Yeah, the IPHatch has the list of IPHatch is wide. They can go. My preferred MNC was Panasonic, but I think that for sure they can go to the other ones and try to have the IP which fits you. Yeah, if the IP doesn't fit you, don't create a solution around the problem which don't exist. Yeah, just for fun. Yeah.
Yes.
This
yeah.
is my main return.
Yes, I really like that point actually, because rather than bending your current business model to fit something, we would rather provide you with the patterns that would actually complement what you are developing or building. So yeah, great. Thank you so much for your insights, Silvio. And yeah, that's it for today.